the university and President Minouche Shafii claimed today in her email to all the student body that they kept open channels and discussions with the students through.
The masked person in the Arabic scarf behind is never a look of that's gonna jive with, the non-Muslim world. I mean, not winning hearts and minds when you come out with the person in the mask in general, so you've already lost like the most of the right-wing people. And then when you have the Arabic scarf, you lose most of the people of other religions. So basically all you have left is like blue-haired teenage girls and like teachers that go to the same school as this woman. That's basically who you have left when like this is your one representative.
Through different channels, I can confirm as the only negotiator that the university were actually dictating things to students. They've never offered any negotiation. The moment we sent them our demands and the coalition demands, 5 minutes after they called and said nothing will be negotiating upon.
So I just wanted to be fair and tell you what this guy said last year. They're making demands of a university. That's weird, right? That's an odd stance to take, that you can just protest at a university and you can start making demands. So I want to show the other side, which is Michael Rapaport yelling about this guy. And I actually agree with him for, I don't know, the first time since he was on Friends, I guess, and shot one of the loud birds out of Phoebe's window. But he's an Israel supporter, and obviously he's going to be against this. But he makes a lot of sense because the ICE apparently detained this guy, and they said your student visa's being revoked, and also his green card is being revoked. And there's this sort of argument that, you're taking away his free speech, even if we cut away all the stuff about encampments and everything. Should you allow a person just to come to your country? And so political division is the question. I would say no. I would say that is not a net benefit for a nation to have somebody who's not a citizen of their country to be there, no matter which side it's on. So it's a tough topic, but especially when you do add in the crimes being committed and the hardcore political activism, which the Democrats are supporting, by the way, they said to free him. This is what's going to happen. I don't know if that's totalitarian or not, but if I'm on a student visa or I have a green card or whatever the equivalent is to Japan, or pick your country, and I am attending one of its schools and I just decide to take it over and block people based on ethnicity, I mean, that's only going to be supported in a few countries. Maybe if you go to China and, I don't have to keep picking on China. Maybe if you go to Central African Republic and you start discriminating against, I'm going to get in trouble for this, discriminating against the people who live on this side of the forest versus the other side of the forest, that will be supported by the left foresties. But my geopolitics knowledge of Central Africa is not the greatest. But I agree with Michael Rapaport here for once, who said, you got to go back, I think, if you're causing this much trouble.
United States on a college visa, and you think you got the nerve and the audacity to protest with a mask on and say certain people can't come and go as they please on a college campus that you're here on a college visa for? The f*** out of here, man. Out of here. Go back to wherever the f*** you came from. See if you could pull that shit wherever the f*** you came from.
See, that's the thing about Michael Rapaport. Yes, he's a Jewish guy who's going to support it based on the lines of his religion, but at the same time he's a Boston guy. He's got this twang about him, and he is pro-America. I think at the end of the day, if you're telling somebody to go the F back where they came from, you have to be pro-America. There's no no person who says, get out, quite like an American guy from New York or Boston. And that's what we really want. We want, as, Westerners, anyone who's in support of the United States experiment, as it's called, they look at New York and Boston and they want to see what we want to see is a New York and Boston that's safe, that has people swearing at you, that has good hot dogs and pizza vendors, and also has people that say conform or get the F out. That's what we want from Boston and New York. Philadelphia, too, should have that as well. I want loudmouthed white Irish guys in Boston. I want loudmouthed Italians in Philadelphia, New York. I want, a Muslim guy and a Jewish guy having competing restaurants across the street, but you can't tell who's who because they're yelling at you with the same accent. That was the New York we love and miss, where no matter what the person looked like over the phone, they just sounded Italian and as they were yelling at you. That's the New York we miss. Just like everybody misses the London you saw growing up, where it was just, guys meeting up in the streets to fight the supporters of other soccer teams at like 10 in the morning. For no reason, really, other than they think it's fun. Pubs are open. Children are waking up. Nana's making tea and crumpets. And then dad, uncle, and probably any son that's over 16 years old is walking down the streets to then have a extremely and probably over the top and near deadly fist fight with another group of fans of a soccer team. And that's the London that we miss. We miss that London. We miss the Boston, New York, and Philadelphia of the past. We miss the Chicago where it was just like, okay, don't go outside the city or else you might get shot. But now it's this whole illegal immigrant situation. We used to enjoy people getting shot outside the city. Now inside the city, there's too many immigrants. We used to like when people got shot. We'd say that's a problem, but at least they're not foreigners. And that's the Chicago we're looking for. I can't remember a Los Angeles, maybe the one that was depicted that I would like to go to. There was a depiction of Los Angeles in Hollywood where it was like the stars and even though it was still a cesspool of paparazzi, taking pictures of Justin Bieber after workouts. But, it wasn't piles of feces in the streets like it is today. I want the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas San Francisco to come back. Used to be gay guys. That's all it was known for. Just don't go to San Francisco if you're not gay. That's all you had to think about. Go to San Diego. Go to a different San. No, we won't keep going with that one. But a different San, and it was a different time. And that's what I think people are going for. And none of this stuff, on the other hand, while immigration probably has been a problem for a long time, and it has, especially illegal immigration in the United States, people don't care as much when the money be flowing, when the cash be stacking, and it's all about them Benjamins without P. Diddy standing behind you. People miss that. That's when things start to become a problem. You can be like, yeah, there's too many people making food on the ground in the streets in this neighborhood, but, I can just go move somewhere else. Even though that in itself is a defeatist attitude, the ability to move within your borders is a real privilege that's not really... You can still do it for the most part in the United States, but in Canada specifically, you can't just pick up and move to another city. There's not that many, and it's not cheap at all. In fact, it's double the price of the United States in most places. So Michael Rapaport, to me, represents a guy who, yeah, he's going to have his flaws. Yeah, he's going to have his ethnic and or religious-based beliefs that I disagree with a lot. But at the end of the day, he's a Boston guy. He's a New York guy. Whatever he is, I think it's Boston. At the end of the day, that's what he is. And he's going to say, get the fuck out if you're not if you're not playing ball. And he's going to sound like an Italian and do this, and then you're going to find out he's a Lebanese guy selling shawarmas. So that's what we miss.